everyone, thanks for joining me today. This is Zoe from MakeItCrafty.com, and in this video I will be demonstrating how you can use the outlined words range of Chipboard. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, or you can always contact me via the Make It Crafty website. So here's an overview of one of the new word chipboard with an outline. And I'm going to show you how you can separate it from the piece. So it comes with these tiny little tabs just to hold it in place, and using a craft knife, if you just sort of press down where those tabs are, it will help release it. And then to release the word from the outline, I found that using a low tack tape, like painter's tape, really helps. And so I stick it onto that, and then see those tiny little tabs? Again, I am using a craft knife just to sort of like cut into it. I'm not like doing any long cuts, I'm just cutting where that tab is, just pressing down. I'm just checking here to make sure that it's all ready to be pulled out. And now is the little bit of the fiddly tricky stuff, is pulling out that center bit whilst leaving the outline stuck to the tape. So it's quite forgiving, so you can manipulate the card a little bit as you're pulling it out, but you'll get a feel for it. You'll sort of feel if it's not quite getting pulled out. So, and you can just sort of, as you can see there, I'm just using my other finger to hold down the outline whilst I pull that out. So now I've got the outline and I've got the main word. So now it's time to add some Versamark ink so that I can emboss the outline. And I'm just using a fine white embossing powder here. And I think it's by Ranger, the one that I'm using, but there's quite a few different ones on the market. So whatever you have on hand is perfectly fine. And now I'm just heat embossing that. And you know, the embossing powder also stuck to the tape, so you just have to be a little bit careful when you remove that, but you'll see that later. So now I'm just adding the ink to the love word, and I'm going to add some black embossing powder again, just a nice fine embossing powder. Pull it out of that pile with my tweezers, tap off any excess, and then heat emboss that. Just like before. I love watching heat embossing change. It's one of the cool things about crafting with embossing powder. So I had prepared a watercolor background earlier using some distress inks, and I'm just going to use a paper glue and I think this is I've just had a mental, there we go, art glitter glue. One of the girls that I met recently gave that to me. It was very nice. And I love the little tip on the end, and it works perfect with this chipboard. So I've just added some glue to that. I'm going to use my tweezers and put that in position, and once I'm happy with that, I'm going to firmly press that down onto the paper. And it dries really quickly, so paper on paper dries quick with a good glue. So next, we're going to do the same thing with the outline, but this time, rather than pulling it off and then putting the glue on the back, I found it's easier just to put a few dabs on around the actual word that's already in place. And then you can just pick up the pieces with the tweezers and pop them into position. One other thing you'll notice there, that I just, when I pulled off that little section to go inside the E, it left a little bit of cardboard stuck to the tape. I found afterwards, after I've been doing a few more examples, that if you actually pull the piece off on a bit more of an angle, you'll find that rather than pulling it straight up, it's easier to, or it's less likely to stick a bit of the bottom. So that comes with a bit of practice. And as you can see here, I'm sort of doing that right now, where I'm trying to release it before I pull it up to reduce tearing the base of the cardboard. So now just placing that over the top, and then you can just sort of like press it with your fingers into position, and it really helps to make that word pop off the page. Well, that's it for the demonstration. I hope it's encouraged you to drop by the store and order a set to try yourself. They may seem a little fiddly, but with some patience and a little extra effort, I think they will make a great addition to your next project. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.